Hello, followers of the Eclectic Collection. Today is episode 40, Mayday. Okay, not talking Mayday like SOS, come get me, the ship is sinking. Mayday as in May 1st, as in the day of May. I have always wondered about silly things and the origins of expressions and random holidays that we celebrate, and I don't really know why, and I've always heard people talk about Mayday. So I thought, let's explain what's going on with Mayday. So Mayday is May 1st, and although it's kind of like a nod to more of a German thing, my first experience with Mayday, as may have been yours, was Men Without Hats, the safety dance. Because I'm like, what are they doing? They're running around a maypole. They're running through a field. Like, what is happening in this video? And as a little kid, growing up in the late 70s and 80s, I thought, this is pretty cool. But what are they doing? They were celebrating Mayday. Probably not the reasoning behind Men Without Hats choosing that, but here's the real story. You can think about the safety dance in the back of your mind as you're hearing this. So basically, Mayday was the modernization of Europe, really, and it was the celebration of the return of spring. It was supposed to be winter was over, and it was considered that, spring, new life, everything was coming about, and celebrate. Snow is gone. Yay. So it was supposed to be prosperity of agricultural harvest and seasonality, and that spring and the sun brought prosperity to the farmland, and that they would have good crops and they would have a good growing season, and it was all things festive to be celebrated. So it has also been known as International Workers' Day, and it commemorates the historical struggles and gains made by workers and the labor movement, which is interesting because we have Labor Day in the United States for obviously laborers, but this was more on like an agricultural end of things. And it's just what they would do to celebrate the harvest and planting and new life, new season, greenery, if you will. And you think of spring. I always say spring in Spanish, primavera. So the idea of like first green. So primero, first, verde, green. So first green, that celebration of that. So when you start to see the snow go away and the grass come through. And typically there was a maypole, and there were different color like streamers coming off of it. And people would like dance around in a specific way that they would interweave the streamers around the pole and decorate the pole. And, Mayday, you would end up having the maypole. So sometimes you would see a harvest or a May Queen. And this kind of gives a nod to a little bit of the legends of like Lady of the Lake. So kind of tying into like St. Patrick and things like that. A lot of times there was the idea of worshiping, like almost from a pagan perspective back in the day, of a lady or a goddess. And when St. Patrick came over, he tried to explain, kind of morph that Lady of the Lake, or that idea of a goddess of spring, into Mary. And that's kind of how that stuck. And a lot of times it was, you'd have the May Queen, and in Catholicism you often have the May procession to honor Mary. But that kind of got created from morphing that idea of like Lady in the Lake, or even a play on like a spring goddess into that being Mary. So interesting, because May Day, although for workers, and that's May 1st specifically, you generally see in the Catholic Church that May is devotion to Mary month. So little fun facts. Thought that I would keep you up on have conversations about things other than boring stuff that happens around the water cooler at work. If you liked what you heard today, then check us out on the Eclectic Collection podcast.com, or follow us on your preferred platform. I'm Terry Tenaglia. Thanks for listening.